Hello and welcome to One on One, and today's One on One is with a very young and beautiful lady who is interested in young ladies like herself. She's trying to build them into elitist, well-rounded young ladies, and not just any kind of young lady, but ladies who are interested in sports. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Maka Anyanwu.
Yeah,
it's good to have you join us.
Thank you for
she is actually the CEO and founder of SG Elite Empowerment Foundation. And I did ask you off camera what is elite about it, because you know when you hear the word elite, you're talking about the high and the mighty, the guys who have a lot of money. But you are interested in young women. Tell me why.
Well, yeah. So the elite part is we are building elite young girls, well-rounded young girls, student athletes. So the organization is empowering them through basketball, life skills, education, and community service, teaching them how to, you know, go out into the community and do things to empower the community. So them themselves are being empowered and teaching them how to empower others. Interesting. Before we get into the young ladies, let's talk about you and yourself. You are Nigerian, obviously. Yes.
And you used to be a sports person. You played basketball in high school and in college.
Yes.
Tell us about that. How and when did you discover that you were interested in basketball?
So I was like a tomboy growing up, so I loved sports. So I always played it. But it wasn't until late in my junior high experience, I was like, I really want to get good at this. So I put in the work, and then high school, I just continued. I had a lot of coaches that poured in a lot into me and really made me into the woman that I am today. So that's why I wanted to start this organization, so I can do that to others. So yeah, I went to Cornell University and I finished out and I played ball there, graduated, and then I started coaching. I coached in New York, Sheepshead Bay High School, Brooklyn, New York. Coached boys, actually.
Oh,
varsity
really?
boys.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, I went on to do my master's in London, and then came to Niger, worked with some, I have an NGO background, so I worked for a few NGOs in New York, Catchy's Project, Catholic Charities, City Year. So then I came here, I started another NGO for someone, and then I was like, you know what, I think it's time to do my own thing. So that's where SG Elite.
Okay, so you decided to do it with girls. You had coached boys, but why did you decide to focus on the girl child?
So I noticed the gap here. There's a really big gap between concerning girls in the workspace, in education, in sports. There's a big gap, you know, so I decided I wanted to help alleviate that and really help to empower girls, because there's a lot of hungry girls out there who want to learn, and they're just looking for a place they can go to, people who are dedicated and willing to pour into them and help build them up and give them the resources so they can succeed. So I was like, so many people did it for me, so why not pay it forward?
So did you have a pushback because you realized that in this part of the world, women are not prioritized as they should be? And like you said, a lot of people poured into you. Did you get pushbacks as to women or young girls whenever you tried to reach out to them?
Yeah, because the culture here is different. You find a lot of girls are timid, not outspoken, and they have a lot of behaviors that need to be corrected. But I think the good thing is I've noticed they're willing to learn. We have a lot of life skills that we touch on. Like just recently we talked about integrity, you know, because we've had some integrity issues. And, you know, you have to represent yourself with the utmost respect and everywhere you go. You know, if you go somewhere and you eat something or you drink something, there's a trash, throw the bottle away. There's no one that's going to clean up after you. Don't lie about your age. There's this athletic age thing here in Nigeria. I don't get it.
I don't think it's just athletic. I think
they call it
generally.
Yeah, everyone lies about their age. No, whatever your age, it's okay. You're never too old. You're never too young. You are where you need to be, exactly where you are. So, you know, we talk about a lot of things having to do, you know, around integrity and, you know, just keeping standards, carrying yourself well, being bold, being, you know, just learning how to speak out and be sure of yourself. So we do spend a lot of time on life skills and trying to empower them from the inside out.
Let's talk about the What are the major things that you're dwelling on, apart from integrity, for the average? If someone were to ask you, let's say someone from Nepal or India was to ask you, what is the biggest challenge of the African girl child or the Nigerian girl child, what would be your response?
I would say mindset. The biggest challenge is changing their mindset, how they see themselves, and their capacity and their abilities. Where can they see themselves going to? I think a lot of our children sell themselves short. They don't actually believe that they can achieve monumental things. They're kind of like, oh, this is okay, let's just settle for this. And then I would also say work ethic. I think we need to teach our youth what it takes to, like, oh, I want to be like this person, or oh, I like what this person is doing in the media, but do you actually know what it takes to get there? The process, the hard work, the lack of sleep, the focus, determination. So I would say definitely like mindset and work ethic, and changing the narrative around that, and giving them examples and you know, real life situations of what you need to do to actually get there.
So what are the age ranges of this young ladies? Do you do a catch them young thing, or you have a certain age that
so the age is from 7 to 18.
Oh,
yeah,
that
so
young?
It's good. It's a big range, because honestly, it's so much easier to change habits at a younger age. The older they get, the harder it is. If they've been doing something for years on years, it's really hard for you to change those habits. It can still be done, but it's easier to instill good life skills, good habits, good work ethic, a different mindset at a younger age.
Interesting. So now you deal with basketball, and well, basketball in this part of the world is not as revered as soccer or football, as we call it. So how easy is it for you, or how tough has it been for you getting people on board in the case of basketball? So
as far as the kids, the girls, it's easy. Like, I find, you know, people signing up online or sending me an email, hey, I'm this age, I really want to learn, or I like to play. So that part is not an issue. I think the harder part is like the society, corporates, you know, because when you look at a lot of businesses and corporate organizations, they're willing to invest into football. But when you're like,
maybe because it makes more money.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what the good thing is that the NBA is coming to Africa officially, spring, early to 2020. They have already have programs in place they're implementing now on ground in Lagos for youth. So there's a lot going on around basketball. So trust me, in a year from today, the narrative is going to change drastically and continue to change. So I'm happy that you know, people are going to be. People will begin to see the value in basketball, because the honest truth is we have a lot of amazing athletes, women and men, girls and boys, that have potential to do something big with basketball, even if it's not professionally, coaching wise and all those kind of things. So I think it's now that the narrative changed and we start to shine a light on athletes that want to play basketball, because the truth is not everyone wants to play football. Not every child wants, you know, a football in their face. Some of them love basketball but don't have the resources to actually go about it. So I think a lot of it's going to change.
Let's talk partnerships, because you can't do this. This is a non-profit organization, obviously.
Yes.
And you are giving of yourself. So how easy was it to get partners on board, people to believe what you were trying to do, and how has it worked out for you lately?
It's been difficult. I think NGOs in Africa is difficult, period. Right now, my only partner is Leisure Sports Park, so that's where we train and where the girls train. So I'm really self-funded through myself, my friends, my family. I also play flag football, so the SFF. football league. They really help. A lot of the people there help to support as well. So right now I do need corporates, and even if it's not money, like very soon we'll be starting master classes in vocational skills. Send your experts, send your staff, see what we're doing, partner with us, help to empower these girls, and then I'm sure later down the line you might choose to invest in a few girls or the program. So right now it's just trying to build those partnerships with corporates, and like I said, I believe the narrative will change very soon. Very soon. So this is my passion. So I'm here for the long haul.
So so far, how many girls do you have on board, and what are the testimonies, let me use that word, that you have gotten from them? Have you literally seen their lives move from 0 to 100?
So the organization will be a year old at the end of this month. I can definitely say in this year there has been a lot of progress, you know, in the girls and in the way they carry themselves and the way they speak. And so numbers wise, we have about 30 to about 45
That's
girls.
That's an interesting number.
Yeah, so it kind of fluctuates because, you know, these girls that come from different areas, mainly the mainland, pretty much the mainland. So they have their own backgrounds and areas that they come from. So what I've been also trying to teach them is consistency, commitment. So if you're to come at this time on this day, be present, show up, right? So it fluctuates a little bit, but I think with the more support the organization gets, we'll be able to be more consistent and be able to reach out to them more, because there is a mentorship aspect of the program, but it has not kicked off because it needs a little bit more backing. So I think once we're able to connect with them more, it'll be easy for them to be more present.
Okay, so that goes back again to needing people to partner with you.
Yeah.
But most of these girls, I understand, are from underprivileged backgrounds. So these are children who don't have the kind of exposure that the average child would have.
Yeah.
Do they have an education, or some of them don't?
Yes, so all these girls are in school. So that's one of the requirements of the organization. You have to be in school. And there is support from the organization with tutors and school-wise. So yeah, you have to be in school. So they come from various areas, the mainland, Surulere, Bagara, Mushin, Oshodi, like various areas on the mainland to where we train, where the organization is, which is in Lekki.
Oh, interesting. So how do they move? Do you send a bus to get them? And
yeah,
that's really interesting.
So I send a bus, and they have a meeting point, so they all congregate there, and then the bus brings them down.
That's interesting. So you've been doing this for a year. After 1 year, obviously, you have recorded a lot of, you know, progress. But going forward, let's say in the next 2 years, where do you intend, or how big do you want this to grow to, and what other things do you intend to add to it to make it more robust? Right.
So our 5-year plan is to be in 10 states in Nigeria. So obviously in the next 2-3 years, we hope to break out in a few more states. But in order to do that, Lagos, the hub, needs to be running at full capacity, which it isn't right now. So when you talk about other things that need to be added, so the full mentorship part of it, the full tutor part of it, the master classes and vocational skills training, because at the end of the day, you can have an education, you can play basketball and be really good at it, but you have to have something to fall back on. Soft skills, practical skills that you can actually use in society. So that portion, like I said, we'll be having a campaign launching hopefully by this weekend, and it's centered around launching our masterclass in vocational skills training for our 1-year anniversary at the end of August. So that is a big portion that we really want to get going. Okay, let's talk about you once again. As someone who's played sports, especially
basketball. Have you been able to reach out to the Basketball Federation in Nigeria, ask for partnerships, or even get involved, or get your girls to be involved in the little leagues, if there be any, you know, to see if there can be a synergy? Have you done that?
I've tried. It wasn't so, what's the word I want to use, positive or forthcoming, but it's okay. I didn't want to let that deter me from what I want to do. The good thing is I do have some relationships in the NBA, NBA Africa, so I'm definitely leveraging on those. So yeah, I've tried, it hasn't worked out well, but the good thing is a lot of the girls do play in like the Zenit Bank League and some of the other leagues that run in Lagos. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So before I let you go, let's just quickly talk about you as a girl coming back to Nigeria. Did you have any culture shock, because again, the future is female, that's what they say.
Yeah,
you know?
It is.
And a lot of conversations are shifting grounds to education for the girl child, you know, making safer spaces for them, violence against women and children, and you are dealing with these women. When you came back to the country, what vibe were you getting in that direction?
I've definitely experienced some things myself. It's hard for women. It's unfortunate. Women, even when you want to, what's the word I want to use? You want to present yourself in a presentable way, and you have a goal, and you're focused on you know, whatever your goal is, and you meet someone, for some reason it always has to turn into unprofessionalism, or those boundaries are often crossed, and then you're like, wait a minute, but this is supposed to be professional. It's tough for women. I just think, for me, my experience, it's been frustrating. I won't lie.
But don't you think that the problem is, I might be wrong, women are, you know, most of the time the values are being taught to women, but the people who abuse women are not necessarily being taught this value. So if you were to be part of a think tank, you know, to help society get better in terms of this kind of, you know, crossing red lines, from being professional into, you know, becoming too close for comfort, what would be your recommendations going forward?
I would definitely recommend, as we are empowering our girls, we need to empower our boys, and teach them the way how things should work, and you don't always have to objectify the woman. And then also teach our girls to stand their ground and stand strong. If someone is pushing you to do something outside of yourself, or what you're not comfortable with, or what is not supposed to be on ground at that moment, it's okay to walk away. It's okay to say no, because maybe it's just so habit that's not for you, and another door will open for you in the future. But I would definitely say it's a pulley system. As much as we have to empower our girls, we do have to empower our men and let them know that, hey, you know, it's not every girl that you meet that you have to cross those boundaries and those lines. If it's professional, keep it professional, and then don't objectify women. We're more than what you see. There are a lot of brilliant women in this country that just need an opportunity to lead and to anchor various industries. So I would just say our mindset, our values and our mindset as a society as a whole has to change, so that we can really move forward and let this younger generation, you know, pioneer and move the country into good graces. All
right, so are you on social media? Because people want to, you know, every time I hear women doing stuff like this for women, I want to see what they're doing. So do you have social media presence? Do you document what you do for the girls so people can actually see it? Yeah,
so we have a website, www.sgelite.org. So you can go on our website and see all of the work that we're doing. We do document and keep it updated. And then we do have social media. Instagram is SG Elite Empowerment. just one E in the middle, because elite ends with the E and empowerment starts with the E, but it's just one E. So SG Elite Empowerment. And then Twitter is SG Elite _. So yeah, and then also we have our email, contact@sgelite.org. Can send us an email if you'd like to partner, if you have any girls that you would like to join the organization, anything, you know, we're here. The good thing is we're here for the long haul. It's not just a pop in, a pop out, because I am the founder and I'm very passionate about it. And yeah, so anything, we're open arms from any collaborations, ideas, support. We're here.
Okay, well, we've been talking with Maka Anyanwu. She is the founder of SG Elite Empowerment Foundation, basically helping underprivileged girls with sports, mentorship, and the likes. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, and that's it on One on One today. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of our programs. I am Maryann Okon.